YouTube. Today I will be drawing my friend Ashley Klein into Kyoshi Warrior from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think Avatar is literally one of my favorite. I think it's the standard for animation, character design, character development. I think there's a lot of really good things going on in that TV show. And today I think I'm just going to take reference from Yusuke Kozaki and how they do hair and armor, and the artist Yosuke Kozaki, not even sure if I'm saying that right, did art for Fire Emblem, and specifically Fire Emblem Awakening, and I'm really, really excited to incorporate and learn from the two places. And I just felt like the bender was a little bit overdone. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do bending art. But yeah, so my friend Ashley prepared a martial arts sequence, so let's get ready for that.
Hi. Greetings from South Korea.
Whoa, so wait, where are you from, Ashley?
So I'm originally from Arizona, but I don't live there anymore. When I was 19, I moved to the Philippines, then to Japan, then back to the Philippines for a year, then to New York City, then back home to Arizona, and now I am in Seoul, South Korea.
So to start the drawing, I'm just taking screenshots from Ashley's martial arts sequence, and then I'm decreasing the opacity and drawing over the picture to understand the reference poses and to get a feel of the overall drawing and what it's going to be. And I really like the pose that Ashley kind of has right here. I feel like it infers a lot of action and it has a lot of movement because of the arms and the stance, and I think that's really unique to this drawing. I feel like in the past I've failed to have a complete variety of line, and so I want to place the focus on the colors, the textures, and the different subtleties that I add to the drawing rather than the line work today. And so I'm actually going to decrease the opacity of my drawing again, once to show the pose, twice to draw the armor and to get a feel for what she looks like, and then 3 times to refine my lines, make them thinner, and then kind of add emphasis in the line work later. And so by doing that, I'm actually able to kind of start thin and able to choose. It seems inefficient, but for me, because I'm learning, it just kind of makes sense right now. Obviously, I haven't drawn in the lines yet, or like for the hands, and I definitely plan to get to that later. So hopefully you've noticed that I've attached different reference images of the Kyoshi warriors in the cartoon, and this was just so that you guys can understand what they look like and what I'm trying to achieve. And noticing that, remember, I'm not necessarily trying to copy the style, I'm just trying to understand what they look like. And so that can kind of be used in this new drawing that I'm doing. This is a drawing that Yosuke Kozaki did for the official art book of Fire Emblem Awakening, and I think there's a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of beauty to look at, and I'm just kind of looking and taking reference to the armor and the clothes that Lucina is wearing, that there's a combination between hard and soft shadows, highlights, and I think that it's really amazing that there is this this gradient. So for example, for the soft shadows, there's a gradient between the soft lighting and the dark clothes and the shadows, and then again there's the hard shadows and highlights for the hard lighting, and that comparison creates a lot of really nice emphasis here and kind of serves to kind of highlight and structure the form. And noticing on her hair that Lucina has shadows, so there's definitely a color gradient. There's all this extra light and extra color on the left-hand side of her hair, but noticing that there's shadows and highlights built into her hair to showcase the form and the way that the hair moves, and I think this is really impressive. So when I'm drawing my character, I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to try and incorporate different hair shapes without using line and without using necessarily hard highlights all the time. I'm going to try and incorporate those shadows and a gradient into the armor and kind of add a depth of values into the work that I've done. You can see the original screenshot that I'm working with on the top right hand corner of the screen, and so I decided that because I laid down so much foundation and so much work into the original Kyoshi Warrior, I didn't really want to obscure any of that. So I added the second Kyoshi Warrior to the left and a third one to the right. And then this kind of just allowed me to showcase the work that I'd already done and kind of create this diagonal composition, creating more points of interest. And I just think it's really important to kind of work on composition more. And in my previous artworks, I haven't really thought too well about that. And I think that I could definitely use a lot of room and improvement in improving my compositions and kind of in my planning stages. Because of course, like I'm just kind of like going with things organically and as I draw. And I think that's great, but I think the one kind of caveat to that is that I definitely lose a lot of time and it's kind of very inefficient doing this way. So I need to do better in my planning phases in the future. So you can already tell that I needed to revise the anatomy of the Kyoshi warrior to the left just because things didn't really quite make sense. So I just went back in and I added some fire to in the background and kind of just some special effects. Let me know if you like the special effects or not. Adding the extra armor and the different like details was definitely pretty challenging, but I really, really appreciated this concept. And remember what I said earlier, to not avoid hands and feet, just because I feel like adding more difficult things just makes your artwork that much better. So I'm just trying to add all the small details right now. Another Procreate drawing is almost done. This time I used Mercury, I used Pendini, I used a marker brush, I used chalk, and I used just a few different brushes than I normally do. And and I actually initially colored in the whole drawing with blotchy, and so you can see the canvas and the rippled effect sometimes on the drawing, not always, but definitely use some different skills here that I haven't done before. If you're curious on how I use and how I navigate on Procreate, I should definitely add another Procreate video detailing what techniques I can do, but definitely check out my video Procreate Basics if you're just curious at all how I did this. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section. I'm so open to sharing everything I know. Thank you so much for staying for the entire duration of my video. If you're curious, have any questions, please leave that in the comment section below. If there's any characters you want me to draw, or if you want to be in my next video. And I just so appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to my videos if you want to support my content and continue my learning process. I really appreciate you guys. Bye.